We've received quite a bit of interest in my Free to Be workshop, so to that effect, beneath this video is a link that will give you a description for the workshop, and we've also included a special discount. So if that's something you would be interested in, I would invite you to click that link, and I hope that you would find the course to be quite beneficial. There's a very common pattern inside narcissism that I want you to be aware of, and it's the pattern of neglect. In fact, we'll go ahead and call it neglectful narcissism. Now, people who are first of all, people who are very covert in their narcissism, they do this neglectful narcissism left and right. The covert narcissist is so into themselves, but they don't want to make themselves vulnerable, so they can just quietly sabotage this, that, and the other with respect to all sorts of relational goals. The overt narcissist may be into their vanity. They may be very dominant and overwhelming and persuasive. They too can go into the neglectful style of narcissism. Either way, it's extremely common to the point of being central to what it means to be narcissistic. In addition to their need for control, their self-centeredness, their entitlement, their attitude of superiority, the neglectful narcissist has a strong message that they want to send to other individuals, and that is simply this: I don't care about you. Your needs, your feelings, they just don't even register. Have you ever been on the receiving end of that kind of treatment? And it can be so debilitating and so insulting. And if you sit down and try to talk with them about making adjustments, you're going to get the doesn't matter reaction. And truly, you realize these folks, they can neglect you left and right, and you're wanting to have some sort of nurturance from them. It's like, nope, I don't do that. That's just not in my nature. Now, there are 7 primary indicators that I want you to be aware of, because knowledge is power. And I want you to see that these are certain things that they are going to do repetitively. It's just part of their predictability. And it's so important for you to recognize this is not about you. They're playing out their own pathology onto you, but it's not a commentary about who you are as a person, okay? Now, one of the first indicators that we can say of neglectful narcissism is they're blind to, or at the very least, they're disinterested in your humanity. Now, I use that word humanity very specifically. Your humanity includes so many different ingredients. I mean, it can be something like the temperament type that you bring to the equation. We all have a different temperament type, and I'm sure many of you have been into those kind of things. It's quite interesting. You have a unique set of circumstances that you draw upon from your past, some pluses, some minuses. You have a whole array of interests that are a part of who you are. You have needs, you have struggles, you have things that you think are funny, you have things that you take very seriously. All of that goes into your humanity. And when you say, well, I'd like to engage with you on all of that, I'd like to know you at that level, and I want you to know me at that level, that neglectful narcissist is like, no, I'm too busy tending to me. I don't really care. And you'll notice that they truly don't really want to know that much about you. You're just an entity. You're someone to be used, but you're not someone to get to know. And they let you know, not interested. I don't want to invest myself into that feature. A second primary indicator of the neglectful narcissism is that they'll point blank minimize and ridicule any requests that you make of them. Let's suppose that you want them to help you out, or that they've been kind of rude and you'd like for them to modulate that some, or that there's an adjustment you'd like to make between you and them. They can come at you with comments like, oh, you're so sensitive, or you don't have it that bad. What are you talking about? Or I'm always having to cater to you. Now, knock it off. Or all you do is complain. And so you make requests of them and you say, hey, look, this is a two-way street here. It's called a relationship. It's like, I'm not interested in knowing what your requests are. I'm not interested in knowing what you think would make things a little bit better, because you see, it's all about me. So they neglect you in that respect. Now, a third primary indicator of neglectful narcissism is that they'll gladly service themselves, but they will not really give much service to you. We all have needs and preferences as we go along. I mean, if you're living with someone, for example, you want to have certain domestic chores that you tend to, or we have different interests and preferences, and we want to make sure that we're tuned into that. It's like, no, I'm just going to take care of me. I've had so many people talk about how, well, I wanted to engage with this person, but they were too busy playing video games. Or, I have something I want to do on my Saturday, my day off, but then this person over here is like, no, I've got other things. They got a golf game, or they have their stuff that they could actually postpone. It's like, no, it doesn't really matter. You don't matter. And basically, whenever you're asking for them to give something up and tune into you, it's like, no, I don't do that. I don't want to serve you, or I don't want to help you out in any kind of way, unless there's something in it for me, then maybe I'll do it. And they can have what I call relationship laziness. It's like, I just don't feel the need to invest in making our relationship go a little bit better because of my presence in it. They don't think that way. In addition, a fourth very strong indicator of this neglectful narcissism is they don't show up, even when it might be the norm. How many times have you had situations where you wanted that person to join you in something, and then later on it's like, well, I was too busy, or I forgot, or something else came along? And often these people tend to procrastinate, or they'll just ignore whatever they know is important to you. They don't offer apologies. They just kind of no-show. Or even if it's right there in front of them, it's like, I don't think I'm going to expend any kind of energy in that. And so just being a no-show is part of their neglect. A fifth primary indicator is that they have a lack of focus on the things that you enjoy. You know, when you have a relationship, we're each going to bring certain things to the equation that the other may not be necessarily conversant in. As an example, when I met my wife, Jennifer, I learned that she's trained as an opera singer. Well, I've never been to the opera, but guess what? I've been to a whole bunch of operas now because I love it, because that's what she brought to the equation. If you enjoy it, I can learn to enjoy that too. That's the way healthy people try to operate on. I had another situation where the wife was talking about her daughter was very talented in dramas and plays and all musicals at her school. She had remarried the stepfather. It's like, nah, I don't feel the need to go to attend any of that kind of stuff. And he would just kind of let him go. I'm not going to focus on what you enjoy. I'm going to focus on what I want. And if it's not something that's inside my realm, it doesn't register. And so there are so many individuals that rather than thinking, oh, this can be expansive, it's like, no, it's just a bother. Don't count on me. I don't want to go there. It takes too much energy. A sixth indicator of this neglectful narcissism is that these people can be very stingy with compliments or praise or affirmation. Now, they love to receive compliments and praise and affirmation, but you'll notice that they don't really offer a whole lot of encouragement toward you. One of the easiest things that you can do to make a relationship go well is you can find out good that's in someone else and then comment on it. It's like, no, first of all, you don't really impress me that much because you're not like me. And, why would I need to do that? They may make poor eye contact. They may give you one-upmanship kind of statements. But it's not like they want to get into your world and say, wow, that's cool, or that's great, or I really enjoy that, or I respect that in you. You're not going to hear a whole lot of that. And then finally, a seventh indicator of neglectful narcissism is they love to sabotage your sense of confidence in yourself. They'll say things like, that's no big deal, which is translated, you're no big deal. Or, what do you think I'm supposed to do? Jump for joy when something good happens to you? And they minimize the things that would make you feel good. It's like, sorry, not impressed, not interested. And you can go away thinking, well, am I just chump change? Am I just somebody that's inadequate? And the neglectful narcissist is thinking, well, as far as I'm concerned, you are. As far as that neglectful narcissist is concerned, you're just not adequate enough. You'll never be good enough. They'll never be interested in you. They're not going to invest in you as a person. You are an inconvenience unless you're just doing whatever they want you to do, and then they can be happy and cheerful and all of that. It can leave you feeling rejected and lonely and bitter and angry and tense and anxious. Don't fall for that. Again, I'm going to mention this is about them. It's certainly not about you. So let's recognize relationships aren't going to succeed if only one person is trying. It's a two-way street. And instead of neglecting the things about one another that are distinct, we want to go into it and say, I'd like to know more about that. Narcissists are not inclined, especially when they're in that neglectful mindset. They're not willing to invest, and so I'm hoping you are willing to invest in relationships, but we're just going to say, but let's reserve it for people that know what to do in a reciprocal kind of way. They don't see you as being human. They want to dehumanize you, but I'm hoping that you'll humanize yourself by saying, well, I'm a person of dignity, and I'm a person who deserves respect, and I want to be treated with civility. And if it means that you have to minimize your contact with that person, so be it. I'm hoping that you can be committed to your own distinctives, your assertiveness, your boundaries. And if that neglectful narcissist says, not interested, it's like, okay, message received. I'm going to take what's right and best and good about me, and I'm going to invest it in people that know what to do. And if that neglectful narcissist over there just doesn't care to engage, you're not the one that's going to lose. Now, I do hope that videos such as this give you some good food for thought, and it helps you understand a little bit more of what you're dealing with in this world of narcissism. If you've not already subscribed, we have more videos coming along. We're not having any kind of shortage of topics. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll keep more videos coming your way. In addition, you'll see that there's a join tab, and if you would be interested, we have what we call the Surviving Narcissism Team Healthy, and it's an exclusive membership where you get access to live Q&A feeds that Laura and I do once a week. She does one on Monday, I do one on Wednesday. We also have extra videos, so you might be interested in that. If you have a need for counseling, and many times as you're considering these kind of topics, it spurs the thought that says, I want to sift this out with someone. If you have someone in your area, I would encourage you to take advantage of that. If you don't, we have a sponsor, and we have a link right below that will take you to our sponsor for online counseling, and that's very popular these days, and there's a whole group of people who are experienced and licensed that could help you with respect to that. In addition, we have my course, Free to Be, about finding yourself in the midst of the controllers in your life. We have other courses on the way very soon now. And then in addition, we have my books like When Pleasing You is Killing Me, The Anger Trap, and we have other resources below. I would encourage you to look below and avail yourself to all of that. It's sad that if somebody feels the need to neglect you and then not experience the joy that could be found in getting to know who you are. That's their loss, and it doesn't have to be something that you're going to fret over to the extent that you lose a whole lot of emotional energy. I'm hoping that you can pour yourself into people who do appreciate who you are, and in doing so, find your sense of stability and steadiness. And as a result of all of that, I'm hoping that you can live a life of contentment and peace.